Judaism clearly does not disagree with the concept that God created stars and spheres as intermediaries. To link the infinite with the finite, there would need to be a range of intermediaries, from the Gashmi, the sun, moon, stars, etc., to the Ruchni. We will shortly look at the Ruchni intermediary. The problem with Avodah Zarah is not with the intermediary, but the deification of those intermediaries, replacing an invisible God with a concrete entity that they could see, feel, and touch. On the topic of intermediaries, there is a somewhat fascinating statement made in the Bereshit Rabbah to the effect that Ein lecha kol esev ve'esev, there is not a single blade of grass, she'ein lo mazal barakia, that does not have a mazal in the rakia, a reference to the higher worlds, shemaka oto, that strikes it or possibly energizes it, ve'omer lo gedal, causing it to grow. This is a midrashic statement bordering on Sod, describing an intermediary that it refers to as the mazal. The term mazal describes two very different forces that should not be confused. One is an independent representative or a guide attached to or associated with every human being, hence the term mazal tov. The other is a blind, purely mechanical and natural influence, the stars, the constellation, and these mazalot are very often associated with astrology. There is a third aspect to a mazal, and that is the life force that animates each and every davar gashmi. Just as a human being has a life force referred to as the nefesh or the neshama, so too every davar gashmi has its ruchni life force referred to in the Medrash as mazal. This of course is a Kabbalistic concept and will resonate for those who can accept the Kabbalistic model. As difficult as it might be to appreciate the mazal thesis of the Bereshit Rabbah, a parallel can be drawn from the field of physics that proposes a theoretical concept that explains all matter, and that is the string theory that argues that at the very basic level, below even the atoms and the subatomic particles, there is a force referred to as the string that animates all matter. The theory up until this point in time is just that, a theory, and naturally there is intense debate within the scientific community over this theory. Nevertheless, for many, the string theory is alive and well. Similarly, within Judaism and the parameters within which it functions, we have the mazal theory, which is used to explain the possibility of an infinite being, God, creating a finite world as we know it. The concept and the problem with Avodah Zarah was the deification and worship of the intermediaries, the tools that God has created for that interaction. To illustrate, another short digression from the Sikha text to Bereshit 15:5, the perek dealing with the Brit Ben Habatarim. Avraham was concerned that the promises made to him regarding his descendants would not be fulfilled in light of the fact that both he and Sarah did not have a child, to which Vayotze oto hachutza, God takes him outside, asks him to habet na hashamayma, look towards the sky, and just as the galaxies contain an infinite number of stars, so too shall be your descendants. Rashi offers three options to the statement that Vayotze oto hachutza. The first is the pshat, that God took him outside. The other two are medrashic, in which God tells him, Tzei me'itz tagninut shelcha, leave the astrological predictions, shera'ita b'mazalot, that the mazalot have made regarding your future, she'encha atid lahamid ben, that you will never have a child to follow in your footsteps. In other words, you are no longer to be under the control of the mazalot, the constellations. And in a similar vein, Rashi offers an alternative twist that focuses upon the words habet na. Habet is the process of looking down, that God placed him above the control of the stars. A symbolic gesture that man's destiny is not controlled by independent forces such as the mazalot, and therefore Avraham, with his monotheism, took a different path with his recognition that the mazalot were merely tools through which God interacts with man.